Welcome back, everybody. Pensive Piper here. I'm out on this pretty beautiful January afternoon enjoying a smoke. Hope this video finds you doing well. Today I'm smoking one of my favorite blends, Briar Fox from Cornell and Diehl. And I'm smoking it in my Rattray's Old Gallery Shape Number 4, which is a bent brandy and a sandblast. This pipe smokes just really well every time. So, a while back, I made a visit to my local brick and mortar tobacco shop, which is the Old Virginia Tobacco Company here in the Northern Virginia, DC metro area. And I was perusing their selection of tin pipe tobaccos, and I noticed on the shelf they had St. Bruno Flake, which is a classic blend that's been around for a really long time. And I knew right then I had to snatch up that tin because it can be difficult to find online. Not impossible, but it's not an easy blend to find. And I always try to make it a point to support my local shop whenever I can, even if that means I spend a little bit more money than I would online at one of the big box stores. If I can help it, I try to support the small businesses, so I'll buy from my local shop, or I'll buy online from a guy like Eddie at thepipenook.com or Aristocob or one of those, Cup of Joes. So anyway, I picked up this tin of St. Bruno Flake, and I knew I had to snag it, so I did, and I paid just about $20 for this tin. So it's a few dollars more than you can find online. Normally, I think you can get a tin of this for maybe 15 or 16 bucks, maybe even a little cheaper than that. So I paid $5 more, but it goes to my local guys who have been really helpful for me. So on the back of the tin, it says, "The selected Kentucky leaf contributes with the smoky and bold character in this blend, and the bright Virginia leaf makes the smoking experience smooth and pleasant. St. Bruno is a steam-pressed flake tobacco, well known and loved by pipe smokers around the world." And I think that's true. So the day I got it, I popped the tin and rubbed out a couple flakes, and I smoked the blend. And I thought it was okay. My initial impressions were that it was good, but I wasn't blown away by it. And I thought, I'll give this a couple weeks and I'll dive back in. And sure enough, just a few nights ago, I was smoking my Peterson. I have a Peterson Bulldog. It's a shape 80S, which is like the iconic Peterson shape. And I decided to give the St. Bruno Flake another try. So I was out on a walk with my dog Nadia, and it was a chilly night, and I packed the pipe up and we went on a walk, and let me tell you, the St. Bruno Flake knocked my socks off, but in the best way possible. For whatever reason, the first time I smoked it, it was just kind of mediocre. It wasn't memorable, but the second time, it was fantastic smoke, and it smoked all the way down, fine white ash, and it just complemented my walk so well. And it was chilly out. I mean, it was probably in the 20s or 30s. I was out on this walk, and it just was really fantastic, very enjoyable. And I'm not someone that normally loves like the Kentucky dark fired, that Kentucky leaf. I think sometimes the nicotine content can be a little bit too high for me, and it's just a very rich flavor, which sometimes it is great. But for me, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. But the way the Kentucky pairs with the Virginias in this St. Bruno Flake really makes for an excellent pairing. It was so good that as soon as I got back to the house, I went inside, I grabbed a couple more flakes, rubbed them out real quick, and loaded up my pipe, and I stood outside on my front steps and just looked at the stars, enjoyed the evening, and just took in the aroma and the flavor from the St. Bruno Flake. And I felt compelled to tell you guys about my experience, because it was, as we've talked about before, and as we hear from a lot of us in the YouTube pipe community, that magical bowl of pipe tobacco, the one that we're always chasing, that's what I had. And I'm excited about it, because it was so much fun, and it really sort of lights the passion and the excitement that I have for the hobby. And so whenever I have an experience like that, it makes me excited, and it makes me want to keep exploring new blends and new tobaccos. So I'll show you. I'll open up this tin and show you what the flakes look like. So there's one of the flakes. You can see it's almost like a stick of chewing gum. I mean, it smells that good. You could almost put it in your mouth and start chewing it. But I'd say it's like a piece of Wrigley's chewing gum or something. And one flake, 1 or 1.5, 2 flakes is usually depending on the size of your pipe. I did 1 the other night on my second bowl, and it was the perfect amount. And I didn't even let it dry. I just rubbed it out. It wasn't too moist, and it smoked just fantastically. My pipe was in the chuff, in the zone all the way down the bowl. So yeah, for me, I was pretty surprised at how much I liked the St. Bruno Flake, just because those dark fire Kentuckys haven't traditionally been my favorite. In fact, just within the last couple of days, I smoked a bowl of Old Dark Fired, and I just didn't love it. I know a lot of people out there love Old Dark Fired, but for me, there's just something about it that I just don't love it. So I was pretty surprised, and I don't know if it's the fact that the St. Bruno Flake is steam pressed. I know that, first of all, whenever a tobacco is in flake form, it can sometimes cause the flavor to be a little bit richer, a little fuller, and I think the steam process, it's a flake and they steam it. I think that steaming process has a way of mellowing out some of that harshness or the richness of a blend like Old Dark Fired, it's burley. I mean, it's a burley, and burley is intense generally too. I really like blends that have the burley when it's paired with something. That's why I like Briar Fox so much, because you get the sharpness of the Virginias, but then you get the base, that body that comes from the burley, and they complement each other really well. So for me, like Old Dark Fire, it's too much of that base. But the St. Bruno Flake, really exceptional pairing. So if you haven't had a chance to try it, I definitely recommend it. Again, here, St. Bruno Flake. Check it out. Give it a try. I know that my brick and mortar has a couple of tins of Capstan Blue, which I'm going to pick up. Next time I go in, I'm going to pick up a tin of that. I'm pretty sure that's the blend that J.R.R. Tolkien was a fan of. That was his sort of regular blend. So I'm excited to try that next time, and we'll see how that goes. But we're going to wrap up. Hope you have a great day, great week. We'll see you next time.